Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, let's beat Philadelphia Eagles now to 21,000 subscribers. The goal was to pass them, which we have, so kudos to you guys. But they could still pass us back and beat us to 21K. We can't let that happen. We got to beat them to 21,000. If we do, better chance of winning on Sunday. That's just science. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. We'll continue to have you guys updated with the latest Chiefs news and rumors. So be sure to subscribe. That way we can do more videos and beat Philadelphia Eagles now. Today's show is presented by Magic Spoon. If you want the healthiest, high-protein cereal that's also delicious, well, then Magic Spoon is the cereal for you. Head over to magicspoon.com/Chiefs. That's going to get you $5 off your first order. Okay, let's get into some rumors, but specifically some trade rumors to start today's show, and then we will, of course, get into some injury stuff. Marlon Mack. Could the Chiefs trade for Colts running back Marlon Mack? Well, ESPN kind of did their 3 weeks away from the NFL trade deadline, latest discussion, rumors, and everything going on. And Marlon Mack, who's requested a trade from the Colts would like to help him out. Apparently, the Chiefs have had some internal discussions about trading for Mack. Of course, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is set to miss some time with that sprained knee, and Mack wants out, and the Chiefs could use a running back. Let me be very clear. This would be stupid. Could you imagine trading for an offensive player, a running back, when the defense is this bad? If you're going to make a trade, Brett Veach, trade for a defensive player. Like if you trade for Mack, that better not impede you from adding a cornerback, adding a pass rusher, adding a linebacker, all things that are very more important and needed than Marlon Mack of all people. Don't believe me? Well, number one, he's a running back, and two, he's done nothing since 2019, okay? In 2018 and 19, all right, he was one of the better running backs in the NFL with almost 2,000 yards rushing, had 17 touchdowns, 4.5 yards per carry. Last year and this year combined, I know we're only 5 games into this year, he's played in 4 total games. Hadn't been able to stay healthy, has been lost in the rotation, sure 4.6 average, but he's basically run enough for 1 game total since that 2019 season. So I'm not trading anything substantial for Marlon Mack, nothing more than a 7th round pick. I guess maybe a 6th, but this would be dumb. Go help your defense out because that side of the ball is really struggling. Would you trade for Marlon Mack? Type T for trade, type P for pass. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. So if you guys get hit with the YouTube ad break, scroll on down to the pinned comment and type your T or type your P. By the time the ad is over, the video will be back in play. Okay, you look at the running back depth chart. Obviously, I would not trade for Marlon Mack, but Edwards-Helaire is injured. Derrick Gore has been activated to the active roster. We'll touch on that a little bit more later on in the show. I'm sure a lot of you guys are excited about that, as CEH has officially been moved to IR, so no Clyde Edwards-Helaire, at least for the time being, as he is headed to injured reserve, which is a bummer because, was Clyde worth the first-round pick? Probably not, but he was just kind of starting to hit his stride. Last year in 3 games without Edwards-Helaire, the Chiefs did not run the football super effectively. The average was there, which is nice, but only 100 yards a game. I do think you can get by just fine with Darrell Williams and Jarrett McKinnon. It's more of just you spent a first-round pick on this guy. He's been a little inconsistent, and now he's hurt again, and that's a bummer because some of these draft picks by Brett Veach, maybe they're not as good as we thought at one point in time. The jury is still out for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but let's just be very clear. Up to this point, he was not worth a first-round pick. What is your concern level with no Clyde Edwards-Helaire for the next few weeks? Scale it from 1 to 10, 1 being not at all, 10 being super concerned. I'm at like a 3 or 4. I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is not the difference in this team starting to win games. I can tell you that right now. So get your votes in from scale of 1 to 10. Shout out to Magic Spoon and their delicious and healthy cereal. I'm going to crush a bowl of this cocoa right after this video because mid-afternoon is when we're filming. That's right on cue for when you could use a little snack, a little pick-me-up, and that's what Magic Spoon is. It gives you high protein, 13 grams per serving, only 4 grams of net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, by the way. Most cereals you buy at the store, it's about 12 grams of sugar per bowl. That is just a fact. Get $5 off at magicspoon.com/Chiefs. If you want to eat delicious cereal and not get fat while doing it, well, go to Magic Spoon. It's Magic Spoon for a reason. $5 off, magicspoon.com/Chiefs. Try all their different flavors, especially their seasonal ones. They've got a Halloween theme one out right now. I'm sure they'll come up with one around Christmas. The link's below, magicspoon.com/Chiefs. All right, some more trade stuff. Could Marcus Maye be a trade candidate? Well, we'll see if the Chiefs were to get interested. He's on the franchise tag this season, making over $10 million. But if this becomes a deadline type of deal, you'd only be on the books for like $5 million. So I think it's possible. ESPN once again reports that Maye could be on the trade block here in a couple of weeks. A, because he wants out, and B, because the Jets stink. So when teams stink, they trade some of their players as well. Obviously, Maye had the DUI back in February. That has been something that maybe, teams are backing off of, but well, let's be honest. DUI is not, for NFL standards, that big of a deal. I think it's a big deal, but if you're a good player, you're going to be able to overcome that. Here's what Jeremy Fowler had to say on Maye. The Jets understand they're at least a year away from contending and could save Maye's $10.5 million salary. Joe Douglas does not prioritize safety like he does O-line and D-line, and that showed in negotiations. Marcus Maye felt undervalued. And let's be clear, Maye's a good player, and this Chiefs secondary stinks. Tyrann Mathieu has not been happy with Dan Sorensen. Juan Thornhill hasn't been playing much. They're 28th in passing yards allowed, 26th in pass touchdowns allowed. The Chiefs have given up 72 first downs on passes. It's been a bloodbath in the secondary outside of Tyrann Mathieu. Mike Hughes has not played very well. L'Jarius Sneed's been okay, but not as good as he was a year ago. Tarvarius Ward's been banged up. Rashad Fenton's been hit and miss when he has played. It's just been bad, and especially next to Tyrann Mathieu, to the Honey Badger at safety. Sorensen hadn't played that good. When Thornhill's gotten chances, doesn't seem that the Chiefs have liked what they've seen from him. So, I would definitely have some interest in Marcus Maye. Should the Chiefs trade for him, though? Type Y for yes, type N for no. We'll leave it up to you guys here on today's Chiefs Report. Go ahead and get your votes in. If you can get him for like a middle round pick, maybe. Could you get him for a fourth? I would be tempted if that could be the case. Some other news, Elijah McGuire coming to the Chiefs practice squad. Rappaport had this one earlier. Obviously, Clyde Edwards-Helaire heading to IR like we previously mentioned. McGuire was with this team the last couple of years, became an IR stash and was on the practice squad 1 year as well. Journeyman, played for the Jets for a few years, did some decent things, so you get a depth piece at running back. Also, Derrick Gore activated the active roster. The Chiefs tweeted this out with CEH going to IR. Darius Fountain has been waived. I would expect he returns to the practice squad. Derrick Gore, and then Prince Tega Wanogho activated to the 53-man roster. So, hey, I know you guys like Derrick Gore, so there you go. Grade the signing of McGuire. Grade, we'll go ahead and plug Gore being activated into this as well. How do you feel about those two moves? A, B, C, D, or F? Get your votes in, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.